Guten Tag, pre-algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here with your next fifth lesson. And yesterday we learned about percent proportions, right? And how simple they were. Now today we're going to learn about doing percents off. Oh, looks like I need an S in there. Lost my S. In other words, like you go buy something from a store, but they're discounting it. It's a very handy skill to know what your new price is going to be, especially if you're trying to figure out how much money you're going to need before you go and buy it, or to make sure the store isn't making a mistake. And I'll tell you, stores make lots of mistakes. So let's look at our first problem here. It says a sweater normally costs $50. You have a coupon for 15% off. What is the price of the sweater before tax? Well, there's two ways to do it. So I'm going to do the problem two different ways. I'm going to tell you both of the problems involve subtraction. Ugh, what is that word? Involve subtraction and a percent proportion. Both of the ways I'm going to do it, I'm going to use both of those things. Okay, I'm going to use subtraction and a percent proportion. I like to do the subtraction first. I think it's a lot easier. Plus, I don't forget to subtract later. I know it's a proportion problem. I'm not going to forget to do that in most cases. But if you would rather do the proportion first, that's fine. You just have to remember to subtract at the end. So I'm going to do it the way I think most kids try to do it. And I'm going to set up my percent proportion. Okay. Now percent, and I'm going to go over 100, right? Now, normally I do is over off, but this story problem doesn't have any is over off. But this is the part, right? The percent is the part, and the denominator is the whole, meaning it's the full price. Well, on the left-hand side here, I'm going to need to put the part or the partial price, and then I'm going to need to put the whole. So when I go to do this, my percent proportion is going to look like this. I'm going to have the 15% over 100. And on the left-hand side, the $50 here, that's the normal price. That's the full price of the sweater. So I'm going to put the 50 down here. Now, I don't know the new price of the sweater, the discounted price. So I'm going to put an X there. Solving percent proportions is just like solving the other ones we were doing. I guess I am calling them the same thing, so I'm being redundant. I apologize. 100x, it's going to equal 50 times 15, which I believe is $750. Okay, now I've got to get x alone, so I'm going to divide by 100, divide by 100, and x is going to equal $7.50. Now please stop and think about your answer. Okay, 15% off is nowhere near 50% off, is it? If this sweater were 50% off, I bet most of you could tell me 50% off, the sweater would cost $25, right? Okay, half price for the sweater. So please don't think this is the price of the sweater. That makes no sense because you're only getting $7.50 off. Okay, how could 15% off be more than 50% off? It couldn't. So here's where the subtraction comes in. I take the original price of $50 and I subtract $7.50. And that's going to get me $52.50. And there you go. There's the new, oops, there is the new price of the sweater. That is one good way to do it. I should put my dollar sign in there. Okay, now here's the way I like to do it. I know that I'm getting 15% off, right? What percentage am I paying? Well, full price would be 100%. I'm taking off 15%. Therefore, I'm paying 85% of the sweater. There's the subtraction. I like to do the subtraction first in a problem like this. Now, I'm still going to set up my percent proportion. Still going to have 100 here. Only now, I'm dealing with an 85%. I'm going to put an 85 here. full price of the sweater is still $50. And then I don't know the discounted price. Still going to cross multiply. I'm going to get 100x, and that's going to equal. Hey guys, let me interrupt myself here. I found the silliest of mistakes. Oh my gosh, I hope I didn't steer you guys wrong. I would hate to do that. How could 50 minus 750 be $52? That doesn't make any sense. It would be $42.50. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you watch the whole video and you get to see me correct that. Remember, Mrs. Sopko and I aren't perfect. We make mistakes just like you do. It's okay to make mistakes. Keep on the lookout for them because you can eliminate them yourself. I caught it when I saw this 42.50 over here. And I thought, wait a minute, over here I had 5250. Anyway, getting back to solving my proportion, I need to divide both sides by 100. And then x is going to equal $42.50. And I'm done. I feel like I did less work when I do the problem this way. I really didn't. I still had to subtract, but for me it was easier to subtract the percent off, okay, from 100 and then do a percent proportion with that answer than it is to calculate the percent off and then subtract that from the total. I find it much easier, but you are welcome to do it either way. Okay, now here's a problem. Day after Christmas is a great day to buy Christmas type things for next year. Suppose that you need a new Christmas tree and decided to buy one after Christmas. The day before Christmas, the trees cost $200. But the day after, they were discounted 60% off, or discounted by 60%. Again, I'm going to do it two ways to show you how to do it. So I'm going to do it what I think is the harder way. And I'm going to set up my percent proportion. I know I need 100 here. I'm going to need 60 here. The price before the tree was, or before Christmas was $200. There's an X. I will cross multiply and get 100x, and that's going to equal 12,000. Okay. I'll divide each side by 100. Why am I doing that? To get the x alone. And then x is going to end up equaling $120. Now, remember, that is not the answer to the question. I have to take the original price of $200 and I have to subtract $120, and that will give me the price of $80 for the Christmas tree. Pretty good discount. Pretty good discount. Now, to do it my way, I know I'm getting 60% off. What percent am I paying? Well, 100 minus 60 equals 40. My percent proportion is going to look very similar to the other one, except I'm going to have 40 over 100, right? Because of that 40. Going to cross multiply and get 100x, and that's going to equal 8. 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to divide by 100 on both sides. And when I do that, x is going to equal $80. And notice my answers match. I personally think this way is easier to do because on this one I tend to forget to do this step here, this subtraction step. I get my answer of 120 and I want to stop. I feel like I'm done. In this one, because I haven't done the percent proportion yet, I don't feel that way. Okay, one last problem to kind of blow your mind. Let me see where to go, and I'll just turn my shade off. It's a little bit longer. Sometimes you can get even a better deal if you want, if you wait a few more days after Christmas. A few years ago, Mrs. Lawrence and I went to Home Depot to buy a Christmas tree. It was almost 2 weeks after Christmas, and Home Depot wanted to get rid of all their unsold trees. The tree normally cost $250, but was on sale for 75% off. In addition, they were giving another 25% off the sale price. What did Mrs. Lawrence and I pay for the tree? Well, believe it or not, you cannot. Did I say you can't? You are not allowed. You are unable. You cannot add 25 and 75 and say, I got 100% off and got the tree for free. That would be a lie. We did not get the tree for free. Resist the urge to add the percents together. It doesn't work because you're not getting 25% off the normal price. You're getting 25% off the sale price. So to do this problem, we have to do 2% proportions. First, I'm going to figure out the sale price, and then second, I'm going to figure out the new sale price, the one that's discounted another 25%. Now, I'm only going to do this problem one way. I'm going to do it the way I like to do it because, again, I think it's shorter. So I know my first percent proportion, I'm getting 75% off. Well, if I get 75% off, what percentage did I pay? Well, I paid 25%. So I put a 25 there. The normal price of the tree is $250. Okay, and I'm wanting to find the sale price. Going to cross multiply, and I'm going to get 100x, and 25 and 25 is 625, and there's going to be a 0 on the end. Okay, getting x alone, I'm going to divide by 100. Divide by 100. And x is going to equal $62.50. Okay, so that is the first sale price. Now I have to go do the second problem. And the second problem says I'm getting 25% off of the second price of this price. This is my new total. Okay, so I need to take 100 minus 25. And some of you are wondering, can I do that step in my head? Yeah, as long as you don't make a mistake. Absolutely, you can do it in your head. So I'm still going to set up a percent proportion. I'll have 100 in my denominator. My percentage this time is 75. My full price is the 62.50. Sorry. My full price is the 62.50. Why? Because it's the sale price, the first sale price. So I'm going to put a 62.50 there, and I'm looking for the new discount. Now, I'm not going to be able to do this multiplication in my head, so I'm going to go ahead and get my calculator out. I know I'm going to get 100x. And here comes my calculator. And I'm going to do 62.50. And I'm going to multiply it by 75. And that's going to give me this number here, 4,687 and 0.5. Okay, to finish solving this, I'm going to divide by 100. Going to divide by 100. Now, if you remember from our scientific notation, when I divide by 100, my decimal point is going to move 2 places left. So that means I'm going to get an answer of 46875, and there's a decimal point here. Now, in terms of money, this answer does not make sense. I need to think about this. Don't we show money to the nearest penny? And our pennies done right here, right? Isn't that hundredths? So my answer is going to be $46.80, and I'm going to round. The 7 is going to become an 8 because 5 or more, I raise the score. And so my price was $46.88, which if you consider the tree originally cost $250, that is an incredible discount. Okay, this is a true story. I don't know if those numbers are exactly the same. I don't remember the original price, but they did give me 75% off and then another 25% off after that. All right, Mr. Lawrence signing off. Have a good night, everybody.